everyone. I'm coming to you live this Friday. Thanks for everyone's patience with me missing last Friday. There was just a lot going on and I was not going to get to it. So thank you all. Would you like to wear it yourself? This Friday we're going to be talking about Happy Baby. Oh Lord. Happy Baby just came out with a new organic formula that's hit the market, and I'm going to do a review and give you my thoughts. Oh Lord, these things get so stuck in your hair. You're very handsome. So it just came out about, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks ago. And so I have all the ingredients, and what I thought is I'd go through what's different about it and sort of give a comparison to the major competitors in the organic market, which is really small in the US. We don't have that many organic formulas available. So honestly, it's really awesome to see another option so that if you're really dedicated to doing organic, you have some choice and some room to switch if, God forbid, your baby have a poor reaction to one of the others. So let's see if we can get started. Here, can you play with this? Okay. So I've got a bunch of notes. All right, so Happy Baby comes in stage 1 and stage 2. So you guys know that in general, I don't know, it's not like I don't like the stages. It's a great idea. And honestly, most formula companies are moving to this stage idea. It's not a concern. The only reason I don't like it is sometimes I feel like parents panic if they don't move stage exactly at the 3-month or 4-month birthday or whenever stage 2 starts, and they waste a bunch of money on a stage 1 can. So you don't have to worry about that, just like every other formula. So stage 1 is good from birth all the way up to 12 months, and their stage 2 starts at 6 months. So for the baby who's receiving complementary foods. And the ingredients are extremely similar. So I'll hit the ingredients first, and then I'll just briefly cover the difference between the stages. So for both of them, it's all organic, awesome. And remember that if it's organic, it's also non-GMO. So I love that. Let's see, the carbohydrate source is 100% lactose, which I also love. There is a place for lactose-reduced formulas in the market for sure, but if your baby is otherwise healthy and not having an issue, I prefer a lactose-based carbohydrate source. And then the protein is non-fat milk with extra whey. Vaughn is on the move. This means it's going to have a whey to casein ratio similar to breast milk. I actually did ask the Babies Only people if they would tell me what the ratio was, but it's proprietary. So I don't know. But this is pretty standard in most formulas, that there'll be extra whey added if it's a non-fat milk base, so that we bump up that whey ratio so the protein behaves more like breast milk in the stomach. Oh, I'm gonna have to go get Vaughn in a minute. I'm gonna let him fish around there for a second. And then, so that's big. So the big thing to know is this is an intact protein source, which is the same as every other organic formula on the US market. So in general, for brand new babies or for babies who have a family history of severe autoimmune disease, I like them to start on a partially hydrolyzed protein source, which this is not. Pardon me. Come on. There's no need to be so frustrated. Come on. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. So this is an intact protein source, which is the same as all the other organic formulas, dairy formulas on the market in the US, but it does have extra whey, which I like to see if the protein is intact. The fat blend is a combination of as follows: palm oil, soy oil, coconut oil, and then you have your high oleic, which will either be sunflower or safflower oil. This is super standard as well. It's pretty much the rule of thumb for every formula except Similac formulas do not contain palm oil. So like, I basically don't have a comment on the fat. It's like, it's what you get with almost every formula, except all of them are organic, which of course I do appreciate. Okay, and then for the extras, here's the big thing that's different about Happy Baby. They have a very large amount of prebiotic. So remember, prebiotic is the food for probiotics. So there's no live bacteria, no probiotic in Happy Baby, but they provide both galacto-oligosaccharides and fructo-oligosaccharides, a combination. And they shared with me, because I asked, so I'm very grateful that they were very open with this information. The concentration of prebiotic in their formula is 5.4 grams per liter. I know that really doesn't mean anything to you, but relative, what we care about is what is that compared to other formulas and what is that compared to breast milk. So this is the most prebiotic of any formula that I know the concentration of prebiotics for that's on the market in the US. So Gerber Good Start has the second highest, which is 4 grams per liter, but that is not organic. And then Enfamil also, I think, is 4 grams per liter. It's difficult to say, and they don't release the concentration. It's definitely not as high as 5.4 as the Happy Baby. And then here's the big comparison, because neither of those are organic. Earth's Best, the red can, their standard formula, until this point, has been the only organic formula that also provides a prebiotic. And the concentration in their formula is 1 gram per liter. So it's literally over 5 times higher in the Happy Baby, which is going to be, in my opinion, beneficial for certain infants. So just to give you a reference, compared to breast milk has just a crap ton of prebiotic in it. It's very different than fructo and galacto-oligosaccharides, which are in Happy Baby and a lot of other formulas. They're called human milk oligosaccharides. I've got a whole happy hour about them, so I won't go into huge detail except to say they're very, there's a huge variety of them, and the concentration starts as high as 20 grams per liter. Like soon after birth in the first couple weeks, and then it continues to go down and we'll get to around 5 or 6, you know, with huge variation between mothers, like everything in breast milk, out to like what the research shows about to 120 days, which is around 4 months. So Happy Babies, while it is the highest concentration in the market, is the very low end of the concentration of prebiotic in breast milk. However, I wouldn't want them to go much higher because the type of prebiotic that we're adding is different than the prebiotic in breast milk. However, these two have been very well studied, that they're very safe, and the research is it's very clear that these two prebiotics encourage the growth of bifidobacteria, which is one of those happy, nice bacteria that we want to see in a breastfed baby's, thus a formula-fed baby's intestines. So this is what you want to keep in mind when you think about Happy Baby. It's going to be prebiotic is their selling point. It's their differentiator. And then as far as the rest of the other ingredients, I won't go through them individually. They do provide DHA and ARA from the standard source, which for those of you who care is the hexane extracted single cell oil, which is how every other formula in the US provides DHA and ARA with the exception of Babies Only. And then the other sort of, in my mind, differentiator is they have a tiny bit less iron, 1.4 milligrams per serving, than Earth's Best and Plum, which have 1.8, and that's in their stage 1. I actually really like this. I think we go a little overboard with putting a ton of iron in formula, especially for the newborn phase. So I like that it's just a little less, and I think there's a very small percentage of babies that is going to be potentially irritated by a lot of iron, but for those who are, it's great to have, again, an organic option that has a little bit less in that stage 1. Okay, so the other parts I wanted to hit are, I'm going to go over the differences between stage 1 and stage 2, and then do just a really brief comparison between what is different about Happy Baby compared to Earth's Best and Plum, which in my head are the two big competitor formulas in the organic market. Oh, and Babies Only. So first, differences between stages. I'm actually going to sneak away because Vaughn is just around the corner. I just want to make sure. Oh my God, he's playing quietly. He's amazing. This is a deer. I can't believe it. This is such a mothering win. When they're playing quietly, you immediately know something is wrong, but so far so good. Okay, so the difference is, where are my notes? Here we go. The difference is between stage 1 and stage 2. The stage 2 just bumps up the concentrations of a couple vitamins and minerals, and these are calcium, vitamin D, vitamin C, choline, zinc, copper, phosphorus, and iron. That's great. I'm gonna leave it there. Stage 1 is fine all the way up until 1 year. And I appreciate, like every other formula that does stages, what they're trying to do to tailor to babies' nutrition at a specific age. But like the difference in variation between how much volume one baby drinks versus another, or, you know, dad versus mom scooping the formula probably is gonna outweigh those differences. But again, I respect that they're trying to adhere to what we know scientifically about babies' nutritional needs as they age. Okay. So let's get to the juicy part. I'm sure what you want to know is like, okay, I definitely want an organic formula. Which is the best for me? And I'm going to disappoint you because there's no perfect formula for every single baby. But what I am going to do is explain to you the differences between these 4 brands. And then you'll feel very well armed with knowledge when you go to the store. And then again, the big thing is if your baby develops a reaction, you feel educated about being able to choose a different formula. So we have already gone over the ingredients for Happy Baby. The macronutrients are really similar to what's standard in organic formulas, and cow's milk, intact protein, and they're all organic. So, oh, here's something that I didn't mention about Happy Baby. For those of you that care, I'm gonna go back and just make sure I don't say this incorrectly. Yeah, Happy Baby is usually what I refer to as a stripped down organic formula, meaning they don't add some lab-derived non-essential ingredients. These are things like nucleotides, taurine, carnitine. I don't take a stance on these. There is research that they are found in breast milk, which is why some people add them to formula. I will say that usually people who are drawn to an organic formula prefer a less amount of lab-derived ingredients, and so they may find that desirable, and that's something I'll compare between the brands. So Happy Baby doesn't have any of those ingredients. Okay, I apologize for not saying that earlier. So let's compare it to Plum, which is another organic formula that I like. So here are the differences. Basically, Plum has no prebiotic at all, whereas remember, Happy Baby has a lot compared to other formulas on the market. Plum has 1.8 milligrams of iron versus 1.4 in the stage 1 Happy Baby, so a little bit more. Both are extremely safe amounts. I just like that you have the option one versus the other. And Plum does have taurine, but no nucleotides and no carnitine. So it has one of those lab-derived sort of extras. And then other than that, the macronutrients are actually the same. So if iron or taurine is something that you want to avoid, Plum is not the best choice for you. If prebiotics really speaks to you, then comparing those two, then Happy Baby is definitely a better choice for your family. All right, so that's Plum. Earth's Best is probably the most similar, in quotes, to Happy Baby because it does provide a prebiotic, and it's, like I said, the only other organic formula on the market that does provide a prebiotic. It's more than 5 times lower concentration, so basically way less, and it is only fructooligosaccharides, whereas Happy Baby provides a combination. Now, I don't think there's good research either way to show that a combination would be better than one, but in my opinion, it's nice to have a combination because even though neither of these prebiotics are the same as found in breast milk does provide a huge variety of prebiotics. So if we're trying to emulate breast milk, this seems like, so this is not scientific, this is truly just my opinion, it seems like providing a variety may be beneficial in terms of encouraging healthy bacteria to grow. So Earth's Best versus Happy Baby, both have a prebiotic, but Happy Baby has way more and a dual, so a combo prebiotic. And then the other differences are Earth's Best has that higher concentration of iron, just like Plum. And Earth's Best is not stripped down, meaning it has all the possible extras. It has taurine, L-carnitine, nucleotides, and it also has lutein, which is one of those sort of like sexy ingredients that Similac adds. Again, I don't take a personal stance on those for all babies. That's really up to your family and how your baby responds to these ingredients. But if having a simpler, less derived formula speaks to you, then Happy Baby has less. If you want a formula that has all the ingredients that we have found in breast milk so far that are in formula, then Earth's Best is a better choice because it has all of them. And then the very last one that I want to compare to because it's very popular in the US, there we go, is Babies Only. And I'm only going to compare it to Babies Only Whey because that's the only one that I really like so far from, or that I occasionally recommend. The huge difference, of course, is that Babies Only is a toddler formula. So you really need to check with your doctor. I'm reviewing it because it's very popular and a lot of people are using it. But it's not something that you just want to use willy-nilly on your newborn without your doctor's consent, basically. And there are a couple differences. Babies Only, okay. Let's start with the big one. I'm hammering on this. Happy Baby has a ton of prebiotic. Babies Only has none. Their protein and carbohydrate sources are the same. So it's, you know, this extra whey added, all lactose, so both awesome. Babies Only has no palm oil in the fat blend, whereas Happy Baby does, as does Earth's Best, as does Plum. So that's a big differentiator for Babies Only in the organic category. If you're passionate about avoiding palm oil, it is in Babies Only. It's not in Earth's Best. Both of them are quote unquote stripped down. I call them stripped down, so no nucleotides, no carnitine, no L-taurine. L-carnitine. And then the other big difference is that Babies Only does not, they have two versions, one with DHA and ARA, one without. They do not use a hexane extracted source of DHA and ARA. So instead of fungal and algal oils that we extract this one fatty acid from, they use an egg yolk phospholipid source. That is a mouthful, and the only thing you need to know is if hexane extracted ingredients are important to your family, then Babies Only does not have any of those. If none of that made sense to you, you've never heard about it before, then just ignore it, I would say. I have a whole, I got a notification on my phone, I always forget to turn those off. I have a whole happy hour about DHA, ARA, and hexane extraction if that is something you want to learn more about. But again, if your baby's doing fine and you've never heard of this, then I would say just ignore it. So those are the big differences between Babies Only and Happy Baby, which I think pretty much wraps it up. So I'll end by saying, like, whenever we have a new formula come on the market, again, I've said this, it's great because it gives us options, and if your baby develops an issue, the more options we have to turn to, the better. So what does having a whopping load of prebiotics do? Well, the research, there's a lot of research, a lot of different outcomes studied. I will say the outcome to me that is truly consistently hammered, okay, we know this, is that it improves the amount of the good bacteria in the gut. So basically it makes the baby's intestinal microbiome, their bacteria, look the way we want it to. This can have a lot of trickle-down effects on the baby in other reaching areas, but the research hasn't really gotten there. So, but we know that a microbiome is really important. The other thing it probably helps with that most of the studies, but not all of them show, is that it's going to help with stool frequency and consistency. So basically make your baby poop more like a breastfed infant, which is gonna mean more frequently, but not scary amount, like the appropriate amount, and have softer stools. So Happy Baby might be a great choice if your baby is struggling with constipation or other GI issues that we think are related to the large intestine. So that could be constipation, that could be, sometimes I see like chronic horrible diaper rash, like the diaper rash that peels and bleeds from stool that's like crazy loose and kind of acidic, or the other way, constipation that causes bleeding around the anus. Like, these kinds of things are just so sad to see in little babies. So Happy Baby may be something to consider if you're dealing with some of those issues. No formula is a perfect magic pill, and it usually takes a while for intestinal issues to work their way out, especially if the way it's going to work its way out is through changing the microbiome. That doesn't happen overnight, but the research shows that it does happen. So I will end there. If you guys have any questions, and it's brand new, so we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So if you use it with your baby, please share your experience. If your baby loves it, I would love to hear that. If your baby hates it, I would love to hear that too. Since it's brand new, I'll be really excited to hear the general reception, especially if your baby's been having lower intestinal issues like constipation. Please let me know your experience. And thank you again so much for your patience about last week. You know, things happen. And I'm so excited to be back. And next week we'll be talking about Munchkin's formula, which I think has rolled out only in certain areas of the US. It's actually not in Denver, but I had an awesome mom send me the ingredients from that she was able to get because I think it's rolled out in her area. So God bless her. So we'll be talking about Munchkin next week, and I'll be sure to compare Munchkin with Happy Baby because I think they fall, Munchkin is not organic, but it's gonna fall into the same realm of, it's non-GMO, I believe. So if one appeals to you, you'll probably be considering the other, and I'll be sure to include a comparison. Thank you so much, guys. I've had the best time with my kids today. I said I'm going to end this like 5 times. Now, if you're still watching, you're amazing. But I am going to just say that it's like fully warm weather spring here, and my kids have been healthy for like a full month. We had the worst winter, which everyone with really little kids had the same horrible winter. So like, here is to you guys. We are over illness for a full month complete in our house, which means I've slept through the night mostly for a month. So I'm like a brand new woman. I have so much energy. I don't know what to do with myself. We went on 2 walks today. So I hope you're having the same good luck in your house. And I'll see you guys next week. I'm finally going to wrap it up. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.